End of the year. Let's get it. Alright guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, man. So this is going to be the last video of 2022. Channel just started this year, so that was kind of lit. So I have a few fights written down. Some of them are already scheduled for next year, which I'm super hyped about. And the other fights are just potential matchups that I would absolutely love to see. So yeah, man, with that, let's get right into it. So for UFC 283, we already have the two main fights I'm so excited about. We got Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo for the flyweight championship. That's the co-main event for UFC 283. It's gonna be insane. Imagine if this fight is so close and it's so good that we actually need a fifth one. Because so far they've done 3 of these fights and I still don't know who's better. All 3 fights were insanely close. Obviously the first one was actually a tie, and then second one Moreno won, third one Figueiredo won. But then after that, Moreno beat Kai Kara France in an incredible way. He had such a good liver shot, got him in the liver, knocked him out. It was incredible. We haven't seen Figueiredo fight at all as of yet, but he has been training with Henry Cejudo. Now, that being said, I don't know how much that actually affects him because he's more of a striker than anything, but this fight's going to be absolutely insane. This fight's going to be ridiculous because you already know both of them are going to bring it. It's going to be mostly striking, so they're going to be going at each other. It's going to be amazing, man. I'm so looking forward to that. But then for the main card, or the main fight of UFC 283, we got Glover Teixeira versus Jamal Hill. It was literally announced. I think Jamal Hill, he was saying he got the call when Ankalaev was still in the cage. Like Ankalaev was still talking to Joe Rogan. He hadn't left the cage. He was still disappointed. And Dana or whoever from the UFC called Jamal Hill and was like, "Yo, you trying to fight Glover for the belt?" Obviously, he said yes. So now we have this fight. And I'm so excited for it, man. I've been watching Jamal Hill's interviews. He seems like a super cool guy. I mean, even before this, I've been a huge fan of his. Dude's an absolute beast. Like, go check out his knockout of Johnny Walker. Dude, that knockout to this day, whenever I watch it, it's insane. Bro, like, just watch this shit.
If you keep Walker moving like this, you gotta dodge the crazy punch.
Oh
my gosh! That's
He's just sleep. Just sleep, man. Just sleep. So that's why very much looking forward to that fight. His fight against Thiago Santos, also incredible. That knockout was also just as sick, man. And so this fight, like, I think especially in the Thiago Santos fight, Jamal Hill just showed how good his takedown defense is. Like, there were so many times Thiago was trying to take him down, Jamal just got right up, or he wasn't even taken down in the first place. With that being said, though, Glover's a different animal. I mean, just because he's like 43, that shit don't matter. He's a Brazilian black belt, and he's an absolute beast. And so, for that alone, UFC 283 should honestly be stupid lit. And those two, the 2 fights headlining the card should be incredible. So looking forward to that. Then right after that, we're gonna go to Perth from Rio. Oh, also, that card's gonna be in Rio, which is gonna be incredible. But the UFC 284 is gonna be in Perth, Australia. Headlining it, we got Islam versus Volk. The crazy thing about this is just Volk just seems so small. Like, Islam made Charles look small. Like, honestly, I think this is still gonna be a great fight. I'm just very curious about how the striking exchanges go, because honestly, in my personal opinion, I think if Islam takes him down, it's very unlikely that Volk is able to get up. Like, Volk says something along the lines that he won't panic if he's taken down by Islam. But Islam on Twitter, he quote tweeted it and said, after the first 15 helpless seconds on the ground, I guarantee you will panic. And honestly, just looking at how big Islam is, bro, I'm very much looking forward to this fight, just because I really want to see what Volk's game plan is for this fight. I think that's gonna be super interesting. If he's like, yo, I'm just not even gonna risk it, not gonna grapple at all, just try to keep it all striking. I think that's gonna be very interesting. I would love to see him just literally just moving laterally. Like, this fight is gonna be sick. So really looking forward to that. But now, a few potential fights that I really want. I mean, off rip, we gotta see a John Jones Francis Ngannou. Like, that fight's gotta happen, right? Like, bro, like, John Jones is truly a computer when it comes to fighting. Like, this dude legit analyzes your every single move. Like, he literally dials in on the smallest, the tiniest of details and gets that to a T. and as you're fighting him, he's just literally just taking everything in. Like, dude is, I mean, he's definitely insane, but even in the cage, he's an absolute genius. Hey, but this is a topic for another day. I might actually make a short on this. But Jon Jones is the MMA version of Kanye West. I'm gonna just leave that there. Jon Jones, I think honestly he's a better striker. He's definitely a better grappler than Francis. I mean, Jon went up against DC and was able to like withstand his wrestling. So definitely Francis is no match. But with all that being said, Francis has that nuke. Like, that right hand of Francis, that straight is so powerful that you can literally never count him out. And so because of that, they gotta do it. There's no way they don't, right? Like man. And Jon, honestly, he's also so good. You just can't count him out. So betting, like, I'm sure he's the betting favorite. At least he should be the betting favorite. And if I were to predict this fight, I would probably lean towards Jon Jones. Man, do I want to see this fight, bro. I really hope we get to see it in 2023, man. So next up, I really want to see Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 2. I think this rematch is actually gonna be really interesting to see, just because I'm like it's crazy that Izzy can beat all of the best middleweights in the world, but for some reason Alex Pereira just has his number. Dude almost defended his belt, and he was literally like 3 minutes away from defending his belt. And kind of Francis, like, Alex has that nuke where it's that left hook. He drops that left hook. I'm like, bro, it must be some crazy shit because everyone falls to it. In the second fight, though, I can definitely see Izzy wrestling way more. Like in the last fight, what he got caught with, he was trying to just play on the fence, trying to just do a bunch of head movement shit, and wasn't really moving physically. He was just moving his head a lot and just trying to cover up. I hope in the next fight, instead of just doing all that goofy shit, he either just shoots for a takedown, or at least he just moves laterally and kind of gets out the way. Like, I think he's extremely confident. At least me personally, if I was Israel Adesanya, I'd probably be very confident that, hey, I went through most of the fight and I was winning. Like, he almost, like, if the first round was literally 5 more seconds, Izzy would still have the belt. He would have knocked dude out. Because of all that storyline, all that shit, Pereira versus Izzy, that's definitely gonna happen. Unlike Francis and Jon Jones, which I'm still not sure about, Izzy versus Pereira is definitely gonna happen, and I'm super excited for that fight. Another fight that I really want, Khamzat Chimaev versus Colby Covington. Honestly, if I'm telling the truth, not gonna lie, I think Khamzat definitely wins. If I were to predict this today, I'm leaning towards Khamzat, but at the same time, if it's a 5-round fight, Colby has an incredible gas tank. Colby doesn't get tired for shit. Khamzat, on the other hand, the 3 rounds he went against Gilbert Burns, by the end of it, he looked absolutely dead. Even his last fight against Kevin Holland, it really seemed like he just did a whole adrenaline dump, just went out and just tried to murder him. And I mean, granted, he did totally do that. He just ragdolled Kevin Holland. But I think if had that fight lasted a bit longer, who knows, he might have just burnt all of his energy and could have just been absolutely dead tired. And so because of that, this matchup seems super interesting. I would love to see whose wrestling's better, whose grappling's better. Also, striking wise, has Khamzat just improved a lot at striking as well? But like, what the fuck is Colby up to? Like, how much has Colby Covington improved? Like, all of those questions, I would love for that to be answered. And also, whoever wins this, I'm assuming gets title shot next, depending on what happens with Leon and Usman, or the fight for the next challenger. So another fight, really looking forward to, man. Then Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. This gotta happen. Like, honestly, just give me the press conference. If I'm being honest, I just want the press conference. I think the actual fight, Michael Chandler probably wins just because he's been more active. Conor, he's looking huge. Who knows? He might be on that juice. I'm not going to say anything about that, but I think this fight as a whole is going to be super interesting. Press conference is going to be amazing. I hope Conor is in good shape where he actually looks good, because if we get a decent looking Conor McGregor, and Michael Chandler never has a bad fight, I think this fight will be super entertaining. I think it will be super fun. Trash talk is going to be insane. Everything about it is going to be perfect. Bro, literally have it at MSG under a crazy card. That'd be wild. Like, they got to do it either MSG or Las Vegas, one or the other. The whole place is going to be insane. So yeah, I don't really need to say much more on that. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, make that shit happen. So next, I'm gonna jump to the lightweight division. I really want to see Charles Olivera versus Beneil Dariush, and then Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. I think these two fights on paper are gonna be incredible. For sure, Charles Olivera versus Beneil Dariush is gonna be a title eliminator. Whoever wins that should 100% deserves the title shot. I mean, Beneil's obviously been on a crazy run. Charles just lost his belt, so I think this will be a great way for him to bounce back. I think the way they fight, it's going to be a really good fight as well, because they both can strike incredibly well, but they're both excellent at jiu-jitsu. I don't think Beneil's gonna be scared at all to actually grapple with Charles, and Beneil can also throw. So striking, I think all around this matchup is so perfect. Like, UFC's got to do it. Like, Charles versus Beneil is definitely a fight I really want to watch. And then Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje, that's just a striker's dream, man. Like, Fiziev has just incredible Muay Thai. I would love to see just pure kickboxing. And then Gaethje, everyone knows he just loves to throw. Dude's an absolute brawler. Again, another fight that's gotta happen. It's gonna be an incredibly entertaining fight. And I also think if Fiziev wins, he's literally just another fight away from the title shot. And then lastly, it's not really a single fight necessarily, but the whole bantamweight division, man. Like, Chito Vera versus Corey Sandhagen just got announced for February 18th. So that fight's already scheduled, and that fight's gonna be absolutely insane. But bro, I'm so curious about what happens. Is Henry Cejudo actually coming back? Is he gonna fight Aljo? What happens to Peter Yan? What happens to Sean O'Malley? Like, bro, there's so many big names in that division. Top 10 is absolutely stacked. Again, with Chito versus Corey, whoever wins, even who loses, like, well, what happens to him? like this division is low key almost better than lightweight. I think it might be the first time that the bantamweight division might be the best division in the UFC. So I'm so curious about what happens in that whole division. I think 2023, like Aljo has also said recently, that if he does fight Henry Cejudo and wins, he might be moving up to 45. So if he moves up, I wonder what happens with that. Merab Dvalishvili, his teammate, he might want the title shot. So, bro, this whole division is absolutely stacked, and I honestly cannot wait for any of these bantamweight matchups. But yeah, guys, that is kind of what I'm looking forward to in 2023, man. I really hope all the fights I just said materialize, and we get some amazing fights the next year. Yeah, man, with that, be sure to check out all the links in the description. Leads to something I do. As always, happy holidays. Have a great new year. And with that, I'm out. Peace.